Hi, I'm Robert Cassard. Welcome back to Guitar Discoveries. Today I want to talk about power soakers or attenuators and the 5 main reasons that you need one in your rig. Okay, first let's just talk about what an attenuator or a power soaker actually is. It does pretty much what the name implies. So when you have a tube amp, you often want to bring the volume up high enough that the tubes start distorting. Okay, you get natural analog distortion. The problem is when you do that, it tends to rip your head off. Too much sound comes from the speakers with all that power. So a power soaker allows you to throw a bunch of that power after the tubes are already warmed up and distorting, takes that power into the soaker. You then attenuate it or bring it down in the soaker, and then the remaining power gets to come out to the speakers. So you can let the tubes run hot, but your speakers are basically much quieter. It's awesome for many reasons. So let's talk about the 5 main reasons you want a power soaker in your rig. Reason number 1, to get real tube distortion from a vintage tube amp, even one that doesn't have any overdrive. So here's what I'm talking about. You hear that crunchy, nice analog distortion, right? That is coming totally from this amp with no other pedals. Okay, just this cord straight into the amp. What's happening is the tubes are overdriving, the Bugera is soaking up a bunch of that power, and then it's letting a reasonable amount through here. If I don't want to play this loud, I can just turn this down and go. The string noise, you'll hear more string noise. I can go down even farther. The amazing thing is that the tone is still rich from the speakers, even though the volume is way down. It's really cool. So that ties into reason number 2. Save your ears. You just don't want to be playing at super loud volumes all the time because it's way too hard on your hearing. I can handle that no problem, but to get that tone, I'd need to be up at 6 on the volume. That would blow me out of this room. Not what I ever want. Reason number 3, decrease your reliance on pedals. Why not use the amp to get as much tone as you can and get these kinds of effects? That's one level of distortion. I could dial that back if I just want something a little bit crunchy. Okay, or I could say, no, I want it significantly cleaner. Of the tubes in that, really nice. Reason number 4 is for recording. There's a couple of things that happen when you have one of these power soakers. Number 1, you don't need an ISO booth just to record an amp. I've known many people who needed an ISO booth because otherwise you can't be in the room with that thing. The other thing when you're recording, many boxes like this have some type of mic emulation. Some of them are better than others, but often you can get the effect of actually as if you'd put a mic in front of the cabinet coming right from the unit. Also, they have line outs, which you can then take over into your DAW. The cool thing about that is you're getting the sound of the guitar after it's already been running through the hot tubes, and that's what we all are looking for, is that great analog sound. And the 5th, and in some cases most important reason, is if you're going to be on stage with your amp. Think of all the times that you want to get to the sweet spot, you turn up the amp and all of a sudden the sound guy says that's too much from the guitar. We got to have the guitar turned down. The beautiful thing here is you can set your sweet spot. You decide what the level of intensity coming from those tubes is, and you just dial down the volume accordingly. Everybody's happy. This is also great for rehearsals. So rehearsal or stage, you're going to be really happy. Everyone will be happy that you have an attenuator. And I personally think that at the bargain price of $99, this Bugera is pretty darned amazing. Your tone controls can still be active and work, and so you can really play around with your tone. So that's a guitar discovery. Power attenuators, the 5 top reasons to use one. You'll be really glad you did. Please subscribe. Lots more of these tips and tricks to share, and I can't wait to see you again here on Guitar Discoveries.